guys, Merry Christmas, I guess. You get to see my face. I guess this is like the first official face reveal I've done, but like plenty of people have seen my face in the community. I'm sure there's pictures in the Balisong community Discord of my face, or a bunch of other things, so like it's not like that surprising, but like this is what I look like if you didn't know. This is gonna be a video on how to overcome failure, like not specifically just in flipping. I know I'm kind of like, this is just mindless, like I'm not thinking about this over here, so it probably doesn't look good. And it's also on the floor, but yeah, this is just gonna be like a more general advice video. So basically the first part I wanted to come to is, it might just be worth giving up, right? Like, if it might just be worth failing. There's some times where it's worth not picking it back up. And if you can recognize those times, it'll save you a lot of time and effort in your life, right? Like, if I was beginner and I really wanted to learn a giraffe, this is a true story. This was literally me. I couldn't figure it out. I could get to the scissor, and then past there, I would do, it would look like this, right? I would, oh, and then I would finally get the scissor, and I would stop. I would go, oh no, why did that happen, you know? Because I just don't think I'm there yet. And there's a difference between giving up completely and accepting that you're not gonna do it right now, I guess. Giving up completely is something that only works if it's like not doing a good thing for you. Like in Geometry Dash, if you're beating one of the hardest levels or something, a mundane level, and you're like, wow, this level really sucks and it's making me like really unhappy to play. Stop playing it, you know? Because at the end of the day, you should only be doing things for you. And if you're starting to do things for other people, that's fine. I'll get that out of the way. That is fine to do things for other people, but to do things that you enjoy and then you're like, oh, well, other people will be impressed if I do this or that. Don't do that. You want to do everything at some point to help yourself, because if you're not like directly helping yourself, you're at least like forming a bond with someone or something. You don't want to just do things to impress people. That's not forming a bond. That's not going to do anything but blow up this character of yourself that you really are not, because you wouldn't have done that in any other way unless that's like what you saw was worth it. So sometimes giving up isn't failure, but it's actually helping you, right? So I wouldn't say giving up is always going to make you a failure or whatever. But if it's something you're really passionate about, flipping, and then you're like, oh, I'll wait and I'll learn the giraffe later. That's what I did. No, I'm really good at giraffes, right? But if you're like, oh, I'm gonna just not try ever again, that's not where you want to be. You're never failing until you yourself completely gives up for an illogical reason, like saying you're never going to be able to learn it, so why even try? That's a very bad mind blockage to have that we don't want. You're never going to improve that way. It's like, I see a lot of older flippers who are like, oh, I'm older than all these new gen flippers, I'm not going to be able to learn as fast, so I'm just not going to try. You should still try if that's something you want to do. You should still try to get to be a better person, even if you're older. I'm 15, almost 16. It takes me almost no time to learn tricks and stuff, and a part of that's genetics. And the other part of that is because I am a very determined person, and no matter how bad your genetics are, if you're too old to learn tricks quickly, that's just something you're placing in your head that's going to make it harder to actually do. You don't want to put a block like that in your mind to completely stop yourself from getting what you need to get done, or what you're passionate about getting done. If I was doing boxing and I was like, oh, I'm too scrawny to ever get good at boxing, and I completely quit, that would be the stupidest thing ever, right? Like, you're not gonna stay that way if you put enough time and effort in it. And it's the same thing with anything you're doing. If you put enough time and effort into it, you're never going to genuinely fail. Until the day you die, there's no failing unless you yourself decides that that's something you're gonna do. And I really don't think you should ever do that. It's okay to give it breaks. It's okay to recognize for some things. Let's say you're in a not very healthy relationship with someone and you're like, you know what, I don't think this is gonna work out. Let's call it quits here. It's only hurting the both of us, or it's only hurting me, and nothing from here will be any better. It's just gonna cause more pain the more it goes on. That's okay. That's not failure. That's not quitting. That's just recognizing a situation, right? If something's not making you happy to do and you stop doing it, that's okay. If it's something that you were very passionate about at one point, like when I really wanted to learn a draft, I'll just keep coming back to this. And I was like, oh, I'm not gonna learn this right now. I should probably learn like how to scissor first, right? And then after I got that done, I was like, oh, I should probably learn a couple other tricks, get better, learn how the momentum of my knife works in the air and all this stuff before I even try to do a draft. And then I'll come back to it. That's fine. You can take a break. That's better than just going and going and going, because it'll create bad habits and stuff. Going does work depending on the thing. Like, it's just, don't give up. That's the only way to fail. That's my real point here. Do things for you, not to impress other people, not to, don't do things if it's going to make you miserable or unhappy. Just do things that you're passionate about. Don't give up, and you'll never fail. And once you do fail, this is kind of part 2, I guess. After all that yapping, if you really feel like you failed at something, let's say, I don't know, I have a goal. That's a way you can fail. If you have a deadline for yourself and you don't get whatever it is done in time. Let's say I really wanted all A's. I did not get all A's. I'm a not bright individual. But let's say you wanted all A's by the end of the semester or whatever. And then you try your hardest, do all this stuff, and you still somehow manage not to get all A's. What you need to do is pick yourself up, and let's say this is your senior year of college or whatever, right? You're not doing any more school after this, and you get like a B or something, or like, you know, you're kind of devastated. You really wanted to get all A's for this final semester. But the best thing you can do is just pick yourself up from this failure that you view, right? No, you didn't fail anyone else, you failed yourself. That's almost worse than failing someone, in my opinion. Pick yourself up and go do something, right? You still passed college. Go get a job with that new degree, bro. You know, you still did something, even though, like, let's say you just made progress, right? You still made progress. Go and finish it. What are you doing, right? Even though you had a deadline and you didn't come to what you wanted to do on time. Like, I really wanted to hit masters by the end of this year in flipping in the Ballast Community Discord server. I'm probably not gonna get there, genuinely, but I've made so much progress up to this point. It'd be dumb if I just dropped flipping entirely because of it, right? So I'm just going to take the progress that I've already made and get there. And then once I'm there, I would be like, okay, there's a hiccup. I failed at a point, and then I came back up and I got to where I wanted to, even if it was within the deadline. That's still better than nothing. That's still better than giving up, right? So, yeah, some words of advice there. Merry Christmas and stuff. There actually might be 4 videos today. I don't know. I'm sure. This is Christmas Eve when I'm recording this. A little pre-record, I guess. In the fit with the Geometry Dash video on my TV. Alright.